Hi everybody, welcome back to Three Sisters Homestead. Today we're in the kitchen and we're going to be making a banana cream pie. I had a gentleman request that I make this for him when he heard that we were making apple pies and pumpkin pies, and I said I would, and that was back at Christmas, and here it is February and I haven't done it. So we're going to start doing that today. This is going to be the first cream pie that we have actually made before, and we are going to start off with a pie crust. This is our regular pie crust recipe with a little bit of added sugar. It was what, 4 tablespoons? Yeah. 4 tablespoons of sugar, but it's our regular pie crust recipe besides that. And then we have cornstarch, heavy whipping cream, milk, 4 bananas, butter, powdered sugar, 4 eggs.
5.
4 or 5 eggs. I don't remember. I have to read off the recipe. We have our eggs, vanilla, regular granulated sugar, and salt. So we're gonna start with a clean countertop. We're gonna take some flour and just spread it out, and we're going to roll out our pie crust. This flour is just to keep it from sticking. We don't want it to stick and rip. All right. Okay, so now we went around and cut off a little bit excess. We have about 1 inch hanging over, and we're going to take that inch and tuck it underneath so that it creates a thicker crust around the edge, and then we're going to flute the edges. Okay, so now we're just going to take our fingers and go like this around the whole edge. It creates a nice, pretty crust. And that is it for our crust for now. Alright, so we are going to preheat the oven to 425. And then we're going to line our pie crust with parchment paper and then foil on top. And that's just going to keep this down so that it stays formed to the pie pan. I'm just going to make sure this stays on here as we put the foil on. So you can either do this like this, or I've seen people put just some dried beans in here to hold the pie crust down as well. We're just going to set this out of the way for now until the oven is preheated. Okay, and now we are just going to prepare the egg wash for the crust. It's going to be 1 egg,
1 tablespoon of cream.
and we're just going to use a fork to mix it up. And then I'm just going to set this in the fridge until we need it. Okay, so first we are going to start with the whipped topping. So we're just going to make a basic whipped cream. It's going to be 2 cups of heavy cream, 1/4 cup powdered sugar, and then we are going to whip this until it has semi-soft peaks. You can see it's starting to thicken, so we're going to add our vanilla now. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're doing this before it gets the stiff peaks, that way we don't overmix it. And then we're going to keep mixing. Okay, so then when you take this out, it should be a stiff peak, and it stays up. It doesn't just fall immediately back down. Not that I can get it to do it with this whisk, but there we go. See, it's not losing its shape, it's staying up. So this is done. We're gonna put this in the fridge too, so that it's chilled and it doesn't get too warm. Okay, so now we're gonna put our pie crust into the oven for 15 minutes. All right, so now we need 2 eggs and 2 egg yolks. So we're gonna crack our eggs, and then we'll do the egg yolks. There we go, we have the egg yolk. That's gonna go right in there. We're gonna reach in and just grab the yolk. And get the egg white off, and then there we go. That feels so weird. Okay, we are going to just mix these up. All right, now we're just gonna set this aside until we're ready for it. All right, so this is 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to add this to our saucepan.
It's 1 1/4 cup sugar.
Okay, so we need to add 1 cup of sugar. So then that's 1 1/4 cup sugar. Okay. And then we're going to whisk this all together. And then we're going to add 3 cups of milk. Pour in 2 cups and 1 more cup. And then we're going to whisk this all together after we get our pie crust out. Okay, so now we're going to remove our foil and our parchment paper. And we are going to use our egg wash that we had set aside in the fridge, and we're going to put it over the whole crust. We are going to cover the edges with foil. Now, I just cut this. I'm just going to put this back on around the edges. Okay. And then we're going to put this back in the oven for 10 more minutes. Okay, so before we turn the heat on, we're going to whisk this until there are no clumps. We're going to put this on a medium-high heat, and we're just going to whisk this until it thickens. Alright, so now we're going to reduce the heat for the pie crust to 375 and bake for another 15 to 20 minutes. So we'll do 15. Okay. And this is starting to thicken up, so we're going to reduce the heat to medium and keep whisking. Alright, so now we are going to take 1 cup of our egg, cornstarch, or milk, cornstarch, and sugar mixture. And we're going to slowly drizzle it into the eggs that we had set aside, the egg and egg yolk. So this is tempering them. And I'm gonna make myself count. Okay, this is the first time I've ever tempered eggs, so we'll see how this goes. Looks good. We're going to turn this back on to a medium high, and we are going to slowly add our tempered eggs back into here, whisking vigorously. Okay. So now we are going to whisk this for about another minute and 30 seconds. Alright, so now we are going to take this mixture and pour it into a bowl. And then we're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now we're going to stir this in until the butter is melted. Alright, this looks really good. It definitely looks custardy. We are just going to let this and the pie crust sit out to chill for, I don't even know how long it's going to take. This is until they are room temperature. Until this is room temperature, until that is chilled. So we will be back to you guys in probably about an hour. So our filling is now cooled down to room temperature. Our pie crust is chilled. We just took that back out of the fridge. So we're going to cut up our banana real quick. We are going to take our crust and we're going to pour a layer of the filling in, and then we're going to put the bananas on top of the layer of filling. So there was a bubble over here, so I just broke it. That way this will lay even. But we're just going to pour some in. This is a thin layer on the bottom. Just kind of smooth that out. And we're going to put a layer of bananas. Then what?
More
More filling.
Yeah. And I thought we should add another layer, but that really depends on how much that
Okay.
uses.
Smooth that out again. Another layer of bananas. Okay.
Pretty.
And then another layer of this. This looks so good. I'm so proud of us. All right. And that is going to be it for the night. This is going to go into the fridge to cool for overnight. It says 4 hours, but it's 9 o'clock at night and I have to work in the morning. So it's just going to go in overnight. And then we will put the whipped topping on top tomorrow when I get home. So I went back to the notes on this recipe and it says that if you're not going to serve it right away, not to put the whipped cream topping on top or the sliced bananas on top, because the bananas will brown and the whipped cream will get kind of flat and sticky and gross. So now this pie is just done at this point because we're not going to serve it just yet. It's going to go in the freezer, and then when we do serve it, I'll put a picture in at the end of this video. That way you guys see what it looks like when it's served. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you in the next video.